Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Boiler Upload post-game show here on our YouTube channel. We do appreciate you for chiming in and following us tonight on our various streams and everything. Purdue earns a 90-72 win over USC. I thought it was 90-71. I apologize for that. But solid win tonight for the Boilers. A very business-like win is how I would describe it. And really, Purdue never really struggled in this one at all. USC, I believe they led at 2-0 and 4-2, but from there, Purdue poured it on and was just absolutely on fire in the first half. I believe going into the 10-minute mark of the first half, Purdue was shooting something like 80% from the floor, and they hit their first 8 field goals of the game. Another solid night for Braden Smith. He only had 9 points, but 13 assists. And I think also what stood out for Braden is he had 5 steals tonight. Continues to lead the Big Ten in that category. And just, it is a lot of fun to watch Braden Smith play basketball right now. He has Purdue. He himself is playing at another level. And as long as Purdue is playing at another level, or as long as he's playing at another level, Purdue is going to have a chance to win a lot of basketball games. The other, key standout tonight, as always, Kaufman-Renn, 24 points, 8 of 12. USC just had no answer for him. Also had a double-double with 10 rebounds. Only 1 assist, but, just an incredible game as usual for him. Caleb First just misses yet another double-double, 9 points, 10 rebounds. Missed a couple free throws there, but he's playing. He's had a great week. He's not going to win Big Ten Player of the Week or anything. He's not going to get a lot of conference accolades, but his insertion into the starting lineup has made a huge difference for Purdue during this streak where they have won 11 of their last 12 games. And it's just great to see that. He's a senior. He's the only senior on the roster, and the numbers that he's putting up and the effort that he is giving has been fantastic. It's paid off very, very well for Purdue. You want to look at role players tonight, aside from, of course, Fletcher Lawyer, another solid night, 14 points. But Purdue's role players really contributed tonight. Miles Colvin with 8 points off the bench. He hit a couple of threes. Only 3 of 11 from the floor, but he had some really good looks, and he played with a lot of energy. One of those wins was a missed dunk that would have brought the house down, a reverse alley-oop, and at a time when the game was well in hand for Purdue. Another role player that really did well that I liked seeing was Raleigh Burgess. 8 points tonight, 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from the line. Couple of big rebounds, did have 3 fouls. He got a 3-point shot off, and he did all of that in just 8 minutes. Did it with, it's good to see him coming along because of the Purdue's freshmen, he's the most freshman right now, I would say, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And then you also had Jakari Harris tonight, 7 points, hit a 3 off the bench. Or no, he didn't hit a 3. I'm sorry. Played really, really well in 15 minutes, 3 assists. His assists were underrated, honestly. He had the second most on the team tonight, behind Braden's 13. And really, I think just this one was businesslike. Purdue finished the game shooting 50% and scored 90 points. They put USC away early. There was one stretch there in the second half where it looked like they might be inching a little closer. I think they caught the lead to a 12 or 14 at some point, and then Purdue just ripped off 8 straight points. So any game that you win and you can get your walk-ons in is a good one. Jace Rail plays tonight. Josh First played his first game for Purdue since last season's opener against Samford. So we got to see the First brothers play. They unfortunately were not on the floor at the same time. It would be awesome if we could have a moment like that later this season, especially since this is Caleb's final year. You also had Sam King and Jack Lusk got in the game. And King got a shot attempt. And, really not a lot of negatives you could say tonight. As far as the Big Ten standings go, this keeps Purdue in first place. They are now 19-5 on the season. They are 11-2 in the Big Ten. a full game ahead of Michigan State, having played 2 more games than the Spartans going into tomorrow. Obviously, the Spartans play tomorrow. And next week, when Purdue goes to Ann Arbor to face Michigan, that is going to be an opportunity to really seize firm control of the Big Ten race Tuesday night. If they were able to win in Ann Arbor, they would have the season sweep over Michigan. The Wolverines would have 3 losses in conference play, 2 of them to Purdue. And depending on what Michigan State does, as they are in the middle of a little bit of a tough stretch here, and they host Oregon tomorrow before hosting Indiana and then going to Illinois, just a real opportunity to kind of put this race away early. And you wouldn't think that after the way they started. The Penn State loss to me is very frustrating because that is a game where Purdue just did not play well, and Penn State is going to struggle to even make the Big Ten tournament. The Ohio State loss, obviously very frustrating because that came at home, and Purdue, quite frankly, is not supposed to lose at home, especially in a game they led by double digits at halftime. But really, you can't ask for much more right now in terms of league positioning. Being in first place with 7 games to go. And, Purdue's probably going to be favored in the vast majority of those games. They've got some really tough ones. It's never going to be easy to play at Indiana because it's still a rivalry game. Mike Woodson does, even with everything going on down there, he gets his team ready to go against the Boilermakers. At Michigan State on February 18th is going to be very, very key, and that is one where if Purdue were to win that one, that may decide the league, honestly. You got to like their chances at home against UCLA and Rutgers. And then at Illinois, I view Illinois as a dangerous team because I kind of see them as the team in the conference that has the highest ceiling, but they've really underperformed in a lot of games. For example, the team that Purdue just blew out by 18 points, USC, they went to Champaign and won by 10. And so, that kind of surprised me. Illinois can play with anybody in the country. They lost to a very good Tennessee team by 2. They've beaten Wisconsin, but they've just got some moments where they just inexplicably do not have it. So I'm really hoping that the regular season finale does not matter in the Big Ten standings. That would be great. The last couple of years, it hasn't mattered really with where Purdue's been in the standings, but just it's amazing to see that this Purdue team was supposed to be a bit of a rebuild without Zach Edey, and they are now very much alive for a 3rd straight Big Ten championship, something that has not happened in almost 30 years. And if they were to win a 3rd straight, obviously, it's not clinched yet. You don't hang that banner yet. But if they were to get it, with everybody returning next season, there's a very real chance they could go 4 in a row. And just honestly, it's a lot of fun to watch. It feels like the pressure is off for this program. And really, this team is playing some great basketball right now. And I look for them to continue that going into next week with a very big game at Michigan on Tuesday night. So do appreciate you listening in to these post-game videos. I'm going to try and do a little bit more here going for is this Ozempic face Casey? No, Casey's in West Lafayette tonight. He is on the scene for us. So but thank you. I appreciate being called thin. So I'm just old, not thin. But anyway, go White Sox. Yeah, White Sox are fine. But thank you for listening. I do appreciate it. And as always, we are sponsored by Home Field Apparel. Use our links to go buy their stuff. Use code BoilerUpload. Get a discount on your first purchase there. We also are sponsored by SeatGeek. Go there. You'll get I believe it's $20 off your first purchase if you use code BoilerUploadRivals. And then, of course, we cannot do this without our main sponsor, Reindeer Shuttle. Everything they do for us, they go to both O'Hare and Indianapolis airports from Purdue multiple trips a day. And as I like to say, driving to the airport sucks. So go ahead and let them do the driving for you. If you're flying to and from Lafayette, they'll pick you up right at O'Hare or Indianapolis. So Once again, Purdue wins tonight 90-72. And we thank you for everything you do for us. And if you're not a subscriber, become a subscriber to Boiler Upload. So with that in mind, this is Travis Miller saying Boiler Up, and another great win.